Motorsport Bernau. We are here in Misano. It's really bad weather, which you'll see the journey here. We've got some shops, quite bad flooding, and obviously some people did lose their lives, which is not good at all. But we are here. We all got here safe. It's the first race of the new season, and it's Saturday morning, so we've got 2 warm-up 30-minute runs. Then after this we go back to in between we're going back to the tent to fill with water, fuel, and do the setup tweaks. Then we go into qualifying, so then this is where we see the real pace of the new truck. Trying to find a way through, maybe. Here, it's all trying to get through the behind the scenes into the pit lane. Once we've done the quali, we'll know roughly where we stand, so yeah, we will show you every step. So the first job of every day is to collect the tyres. So at the start of each weekend, the top 10 teams have to start on fresh tyres, as you can see here. And the fresh tyres, they are sort of mixed up randomly. Then each team has to pull a ball out of a hat with a number on, and then that corresponds to what set of tyres they have. This is to completely stop anyone playing with the tyres, and then it's a complete even playing field. So we drop the rims off the night before, they get put on, and then first thing in the morning we just come down with the forklift, pick our tyres up or our wheels up, and then all the other teams do basically the same. We have to have 6 completely new tyres for Saturday morning if you're in the top 10, is so you physically can't take them home after a weekend, play with them, and then come to racing and then be quick. Then on Saturday evening, you have a decision of how many tyres you want to keep or how many new tyres you want. If you want to keep any tyres, they have to come back to here. This is basically the Parc Fermé tyre garage. Then your old tyres will stay here overnight, again, to stop anyone playing with anything. And then in the morning, you can just collect them, same as normal. Collect them, take them back, fill them with air, good to go for the day. So there's been a red flag at the moment, so it gives us time to actually talk to Antonio to find out where we are losing a little bit of time in the actual lap. At the minute, because it's still quite damp, we don't know what the best way to go is. Not through not knowing, it's actually through not knowing what the track is going to do. So if it starts to rain in 2 minutes, it's like a really strange time to make a big change, especially so close to the qualifying. So we tried to keep it as sort of constant as physically possible for this time, but we're pretty happy with the position. We're quite fast at the minute. We are where we thought we would be, so I think the next step is qualifying. We're going to do a few more laps to just see if we can optimise some of the lines and some other bits and pieces, and yeah, next step is qualifying.
If we'd been further back in, I think that was an excuse for his last corner. Steffi did it.
Yeah. So Super Bowl is over with, so the top 10 go through. We came 4th, we were on a really fast lap in the last lap, and then it started to rain in the last 2 corners, so we actually lost like half a second in the last 2 corners. Otherwise we would have been on the front row, but hey ho, that's life, isn't it? So other teams had it worse, so now we go into Parc Fermé, where we're not allowed to touch the truck for about 30 to 40 minutes. After this we'll fill the fuel and water up, then we will go to the start grid for race 1. Then we will see what happens in the first corner. Normally it's chaos, especially the first race of the season. And then after this, we will show you everything else, which is the craziest part of truck racing. But a big shout out to Antonio for doing an amazing job on that really hard last lap. It puts us in a good position for the grid, especially in the first race, which is where you score the most points. So we're here on the grid of the very first race. You got third, huh?
Third, yeah.
So it's a good result.
4.
Good result for Steffi. We're not best pleased, but a good result for Steffi. And what do you think? Turn 1? 2. 2? Yeah?
The 2.
Yeah? Okay. And then we see what happens now.
Yeah.
P2, baby! Come on! So, race 2 of the day. Race 2 is basically a top 8 reverse grid from the first race. So we are obviously starting in P7. It's lovely Italian weather. Shouldn't joke about it too much, but it's like English summer. We do have English tea on the job. It will be, again, a wet start. This is for safety reasons, so they're not all piling into the first corner all together. So from this side, it's a really sensible way to start a race, because the track is not made wider just for the trucks. It's the trucks are a lot wider than a car, so from this side it's a very important part of the racing, especially when it's wet. Obviously when it's dry, it's just a normal lights go out, shout go, and away we go. On this part now we have about 10-15 minutes. So we will do a few changes to the truck, especially for the wet weather, because we didn't know if it was going to be fully wet. Huzi is just making some final tweaks to Joachim's truck. Hopefully he makes it a little bit slower for us. But yeah, and then we see how this race goes, so keep posted. So after race 2 we have to fix the truck up, so all the damaged stuff we need to fix. So the front bumpers tweaked down a little bit, the side bars bent in, so we go straight on that. Alex is just putting this side disc on. I'm doing the other side disc. Front disc we just use a standard PE disc, as you can see, standard PE box. This is to keep our costs down, but it's also the quality and reliability from the PE disc is really good. So we've been using these discs now for 7 years, something like this, and they've been involved in truck racing for like 15 years probably, if not longer. So it's really cool to work with them and develop parts with them as well. the discs are a standard MAN fitment, but we do modify how we use them. So, all right, mate, he wants to learn as well. So we actually spray water, these are the water jets, into the center part of the disc. This is to keep the disc cool, because like 2 times on full brakes it'll just overheat. We have a temperature sensor here. See the temperature sensor, Teo? And then this is a live feed straight into the driver's cab. And we don't spray the water onto the face of the disc because the pad will just aquaplane on the actual disc itself. So the last job is just a brake cleaner it. Tom's under just torquing the front axle up, all the U-bolts and centre bolts. So it's really like a full, or almost a full nut bolt check. If you saw, I didn't nip these bolts up like massively. This is for 2 reasons. First reason, they don't stay on long enough, so they'll only stay on for maybe, well, tomorrow night we'll change them again, if not maximum 2 days. And if we have a problem with them, we can take them off really quickly. So that's like the main thing. The last job is just to put a screwdriver in, turn the disc to sort of block it, and then we'll torque the hub bolts up. Petrofita have just arrived, and they are doing the night engine service. So they will check engine oil, turbo play, front and rear play in the actual turbo. Once they've done this service, and a few other bits they will check, once they've done this service, we will then check the intercooler. You can see if the intercooler's cracked or if we have a air leak somewhere else. Then back axle, we will do the same as the front, not change the disc, but we remove the wheels so we can inspect the disc. Rear discs are BPW standard trailer disc with pads. We will do the same again, torque the U-bolts up, check the centre bolts, general spanner check, also all the spring hangers will check, but when we built it we have the yellow line so we can see if anything's moved or not. And that is generally 1 day of truck racing. It is 8:30 with damage. The damage isn't too bad, so we expect to be working until 11:30 at night. If we have damage on top, sometimes we don't go to sleep at all, but the damage isn't too bad, truck's quick, so we'll just do a basic service. And while we're doing sort of generic jobs that we know how to do it from muscle memory, we're also looking for other faults with the truck, and just trying to make sure that nothing develops into a serious problem. Misano saluta la vittoria. Go on! Go on! Go on! Woo! Bravo!
Ja, super!
Woo! Thank you.
Nice.
Good job.
Congratulations, mate. Good job. Congrats.
È lui che sta per salire sul terreno gioco del mondo, Castigliano Bocca, Capacita, Spagna, Signori, Gianni, Caramelle d'Europa, con il mando in stima più forte, di un Bernau, Antonio!
So as you can see, we're all loaded up, ready to go. I've lost my voice because we were screaming for Antonio that much at the weekend. We had some really good results. We got a third, a second, sixth, and then a first place in the last race. So that's why I lost my voice. Just absolutely brilliant weekend. I think one of the highest point scoring weekend we've ever had. The next step is to service the race truck. We will go to a workshop in Italy, but as you can see, not a lot of damage, which is really cool. And this is a really good weekend. The weather's changed a lot since we first came here. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.